All right, breaking news coming in at this point of time. Jagan Mohan Reddy, Chief YSR Congress, call to march to Parliament has been interrupted. The Delhi police has restricted him and his supporters to Jantar Mantar. To give our viewers perspective, just about 45 minutes ago, Jagan Mohan Reddy had given the clarion call to his supporters to march to the doorstep of the Parliament. This after thousands of protesters along with him have taken the Telangana fight to the national capital. He's been protesting at Jantar Mantar from today morning, and right a day before the bill is presented in Lok Sabha for discussion, he gave the clarion call to march up to the Parliament. My colleague Rishika Barua on the phone line, reporting from Ground Zero. Rishika, there was word that Jagan could in all probability be detained. What are you picking up?
Well, Preeti, at this point in time, Jagan Mohan Reddy along hundreds of his supporters have in fact been stopped on Parliament Street. There is heavy police deployment on the other side. Water cannons are on standby. And for now, protesters have just sat down on the other side of the fence. Not trying to push the barricades, not trying to make his way through. Headlines today did manage to speak to Jagan Mohan Reddy exclusively while he was marching, and he said that he is willing to go to any extent. This is a march towards to protect democracy, and it is in fact his right. He also went on to say, when we asked him if he is willing to court arrest in this matter, he said we'll see what happens ahead.
Rishika, are we looking at an open confrontation at this point of time? Because like you said, Jagan Mohan Reddy told you a short while back that he'd go to any extent. What's the situation right now?
The situation right now, Preeti, is that he has in fact sat down on the road on Parliament Street when he was stopped by the Delhi police. He is not trying, the protesters led by Jagan Mohan Reddy are not trying to push the barricade. They have in fact sat down. There is a lot of sloganeering and heavy police present. It remains to be seen how the standoff actually comes to an end, whether Jagan Mohan Reddy will in fact backtrack and come back, or whether he will court arrest, or whether the Delhi police will...
What are you picking up from the Delhi police, Rishika? In all probability, it does seem that Jagan Mohan Reddy will be detained.
The Delhi police is going to wait and watch. They have managed to contain protesters on Parliament Street. They've managed to restrain them just to that particular area. So far, Preeti, there is a standoff, but the situation, like I said, is on tenterhooks and could explode.
What are the numbers we are looking at, Rishika? Just look around you. Can you give us...
Preeti, there are hundreds of people, could perhaps even go up to 1,000. As we have been reporting yesterday, in fact, for about 6 trains that have come from the Seemanchal and Rayalaseema region, full of...
Rishika, I just want to come in. Just hold that thought. Just want to come in because the visuals that you're sending us live, well, they're on air right now. To tell our viewers, the visuals that you're seeing right now are the visuals at Parliament Street. This is where Jagan Mohan Reddy, who is marching with his supporters to Parliament, has squatted. He sat down there, refusing to budge. Big question now. Will he be arrested? Will he be detained? You can see live visuals once again. You can see the police trying to talk to various leaders of the YSR Congress, trying to defuse the situation. Rishika Barua reports there are water cannons. There are hundreds of policemen, and they are hoping that this doesn't get into a fracas of sorts. Right now, what we do know, the agitators, the supporters of YSR Congress and Jagan Mohan Reddy have just sat down at Parliament Street. They are not using force, and a discussion right now on between the Delhi police and Jagan Mohan Reddy. I'm going to cut across back to Rishika. These are live visuals that she's sending us from Ground Zero. Rishika, we can see that the cops are trying to defuse the situation by talking to Jagan. Can you get us details?
Well, absolutely, Preeti. They are in fact talking to leaders, including Jagan. They are standing over there and having this conversation. It remains to be seen what exactly comes out of that conversation, whether there is in fact going to be a confrontation between the Delhi police and the protesters, or whether Jagan Mohan Reddy is going to backtrack and not start march all the way to Parliament. Remember, he did make that clarion call, an announcement, after which an entire sea of people just got up, started marching towards Parliament just after he finished speaking, and it really is that sort of energy that they're looking to use to exert pressure on all political classes in Delhi to enact that legislation which we are likely to be seeing to be tabled tomorrow. So these are clearly pressure tactics, and what happens right now, whether these protests are in fact going to turn into a confrontation between the police and the protesters, or whether the police and the protesters are going to try and reach towards an amicable solution, that is what remains to be seen. But as we can see, negotiations
Okay.
are on as we speak.
All right, Rishika Barua, keep a keen eye on developments. We, of course, will keep coming back to you with the